Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Today, I'm here to bring all of you, once again, the weekly anime review for Kiznaiver Episode 6. Already halfway through with this series. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that half of this anime season is pretty much done. Like, some episodes or some series are already on their 7th episode, and some are mainly on episode 6. It's just kind of crazy how we're already halfway through spring 2016, and we're almost here to summer. Summer is almost here. But enough of that. Let's talk about this episode. I gotta say now, I love, once again, how Trigger is really handling these characters. See, this episode goes to show a different side of the story, something that we haven't really got to see before. We got little hints at it, but with this episode, we get to see the ramifications of what happens when an organization decides to prioritize the mission or the experiment over the well-being of the human subject. And that's exactly what this episode was for. Let's take this for example at the end of the episode. We had one of our characters, Maki. She has been experiencing a lot of issues throughout this entire episode. She is constantly, in trouble to where she is hiding her true self. She has a very rotten personality. We know something's happened in the past. We know someone that she was close to has died. This was hinted beforehand before this episode. But with this episode, we get clarification on kind of what happened. Not the exact full picture, but we do get hints at what really happened. And the ending event of this episode, like the main core part of it, was how all of our characters, 6 of our characters, were trying to go save Maki. Because they were feeling chest pains, they wanted to go save her. Well, they didn't really go save her out of the kindness of their heart. Even though it kind of was, they wanted to save her, it didn't look like that. Because the main reason how they knew who was in trouble, but also the main reason why they even went there to save her to begin with, is because it was a mission all along part of the project. For instance, the Kiznaiver project. Like, they got a little notification, save Maki. And so, of course, they have to listen to it. If they don't, bad shit happens. So, they went out of their way to go save Maki. And at the end of the day, when Maki realized it was a mission, it makes it look like if it wasn't really out of the goodness of their heart. Like, they didn't try to save her to be nice. They saved her because it was something they had to do to complete their mission. So, you get the point here with the impact of what this caused, because it was like they're not really friends. It's like saying, oh, I only saved your life because it's my job. I didn't save your life because I cared about you, I love you, or anything like that. I saved you because it's my job, and that's kind of fucked up, and that's exactly how Maki most likely took that final part of this episode and why she ran off, and she's probably going to be very distant and pissed off from everybody because it was a mission. It wasn't something that they tried to do out of the kindness of their heart. So, yeah. I now see how this is going to start causing some drama now. I see now where Kiznaiver is going to slowly be adding in some drama, because it's not just about the well-being of the human person that is in part of this project. It's just mainly for results. The project, the organization, they just want results. They don't care about what happens and what type of troubles they cause everybody else. They just want to get those results before they can get that money and get that research and stuff out there. Kind of like how real companies do nowadays. So, kind of crazy how this kind of tackles some real life elements that happen in everyday life. But enough of that though. So let's talk about Maki's past. So Maki, her character. She is personally one of my favorite characters of Kiznaiver. She is. I loved her character, not just because of that scene last week with her just jumping on top of Yuta, but I've loved her character, her personality. Even though it's rotten, it's like a very shitty personality, I just like it because a character with good characterization, along with, a very good backstory. I mean, I knew that Maki most likely was going to have something like this because of the way she introduced herself. Like, I killed someone and we thought that was a rotten personality. It's like, I knew she had something that was going to be very good to find out about her. And that's what we got in this episode. So, from what we found out is that she used to be a mangaka. She used to actually write a shoujo manga. It was a romance series. Go figure. She had a friend that was actually helping her do it as well. And we get to see this childhood friend at the beginning of this episode, and from the little details we got throughout the episode, it lets us know that this friend wasn't really all there, or this friend wasn't mentally stable, because we saw some suicidal tendencies from what we saw. Now, this could be incorrect, it could be I misinterpreted in some way, but it seemed like whatever happened, it feels like Maki blames herself for the death of her friend, which that was something that was rather obvious since the beginning of the series when we found out, like, she was joking about killing someone, and we always kind of knew that she most likely was feeling bad for someone that died in the past, or she might have indirectly killed someone, and that's probably what happened here. You know, her friend probably had something going on with her, maybe she killed herself, maybe something else happened, whatever may have happened, Maki blames herself for the loss of her friend, and so she uses this very evil and rotten personality to push everyone away for she never gets in that same situation ever again. And we get to see an example of this in this episode. When you see one of our characters, we have Nico, she actually is running after Maki, and she's like, hey, what you doing and all that, you know, how you doing? He's like, and she's like, oh, I'm stupid too, and then you see this little, like, flashback of Maki's friends saying the exact same thing, and you see the connection there, and we get to kind of realize what's going on. Maki does not want to grow close to anyone. She doesn't want to be connected to anyone because she doesn't want to feel that pain ever again, and that's why she has that chest pain. So, I like the way this episode was kind of core focused on Maki and her character and what is currently going on. It was more of her introduction episode than anything else, actually. That's really what this episode was, introducing more of her character. But yeah, at the end of the day, Trigger's doing a very good job. I'm very satisfied with what they have done so far with this series. I mean, I guess I shouldn't probably expect a 10 out of 10 plot by now. I mean, this is already, you know, the 6th episode in. But when it comes to the characters, though, they are doing a very good job, and I'm satisfied with that alone. So, if they can continue this, if they can make a very good story with these characters and continue to allow me to grow closer to them, I feel like we'll have a very good series, depending on how it ends. And I have full faith Studio Trigger will do a good job with the remaining episodes of Kiznaiver. So you all have a wonderful day, or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.